What's up everybody, this is Master Ian Gamer, and today I wanted to talk a little bit about the difference between fun-centric heroes and balance-centric heroes. Our most recent hero addition, being Wrecking Ball, or Hammond, is by far a fun-centric hero. The true value he adds to the game isn't through him being able to counter certain heroes or team comps that need to be countered, but rather through the fact that he's simply enjoyable to play. Since he was added to the PTR about a week and a half ago, I have barely touched the live servers, and so I've been playing almost exclusively on the PTR, and I'm still enjoying playing as him as much as the very first day I tried him, and I can tell that I'm not the only one. Even still, a week and a half after his release, almost every single match on the PTR I go into, somebody is insta-locking Hammond, and there have been very few instances where I've seen a match without a Hammond on both teams. By comparison to our past two heroes, Moira and Brigitte, at this point, it got to where people had played the hero a good bit on the PTR already, had gotten a feel for them, and thought, okay, this is the new hero. I don't necessarily want to play them all the time now. Sure, you'd get a new person on the PTR every now and again who would try to insta-lock because they hadn't gotten to try them yet, but there certainly wasn't nearly as much demand to be playing the new hero the past two times as there is now. I even still see people in chat asking whoever is playing Hammond to switch just so they can get a chance to play him as well. Without a doubt, people are loving this new hero. So does this mean that Hammond is a better new hero than Brigitte, Moira, or maybe even any of the other past post-release heroes? Well, not necessarily. Both Moira and Brigitte, I think, were incredibly important heroes to add to the game. They not only provided more hero options when playing as a healer, but also they stood as a good counter to dive, which at the time was having a hard time being dealt with. Think what you will of these two heroes, but I am very glad they were added and love that they can do what they do in the game. Hammond, by comparison, despite the fact that I've seen people on both sides of this argument, I think isn't going to really do anything for the game overall when it comes to balance or changing the meta. I mean, he really doesn't provide any sort of unique utility that doesn't already exist in the game. As I said, instead the thing that he provides is simply an enjoyable gameplay experience. I think it's safe to say that he's a lot more fun to play than Moira and especially Brigitte. And of course, that's not to say that either Moira or Brigitte aren't fun to play, but I just think a lot more people are going to enjoy playing Hammond than they do these other two. And so the question is, will we be getting more fun heroes like Hammond in the future? My answer is yes, of course, but I don't think they're all going to be super fun like he is, and I don't think they all should be. We need a decent balance of fun-centric and balance-centric heroes. As I'm sure we all recall, the dive meta was annoyingly dominant prior to the addition of Brigitte, and so adding her was a positive effect because it helped balance out the sort of metas we could see. Hammond, who by comparison isn't probably going to really affect the meta in any way, might seem like a wasted opportunity to add a new hero, since after all, we are always trying to get towards a more balanced state of the game. However, I actually think that right now, relatively speaking, the game is fairly balanced. We do have a slight dominance of Hanzo, especially with the use of Reinhardt and Zarya. By no means would I say the game's current balance is perfect because, well, let's be honest, I think perfect balance in a game like Overwatch is just flat out impossible. But all things considered, I think the game is in a decent state right now. Certainly better than it has been at points in the past. However, just because Hammond probably won't be a meta-changing hero doesn't mean that he's not super important for the health of the game. In today's gaming market, you have to constantly have fresh content in your game, otherwise people are gonna get bored of it and it'll die. Looking at the controversy around Hammond regarding the fact that he's a hamster, even this could easily have been an intentional play on Blizzard's part in order to stir up controversy and thus attention. By generating all this attention for this absurd new hero, many people who either have never tried the game before or used to play it and have since abandoned it might come back just to try out this new ridiculous hero. And once they find that he's actually really freaking fun to play, they very well may be convinced to stick around. However, beyond just Hammond himself, I feel like the addition of our latest hero has breathed new life into other heroes as well. particularly the heroes that counter him, such as Reaper, Mei, and especially Bastion. These are heroes who have had a very rough time finding a good place in the meta, or even just in the average match recently. Sure, there will always be really good players who've been able to utilize heroes like this, but for an average Joe like me who likes playing them but can't generally find a good time to do it, I have had so much fun playing Bastion and Reaper recently. I'm sure part of it comes from the ease of mowing down an enemy team of 6 hamsters, but even in a standard 6v6 match, it feels so refreshing to have these older options suddenly become more viable again. Granted, I will say this point of view is rather subjective, as not everybody enjoys playing heroes like Reaper and Bastion, but I just love seeing things get mixed up a little bit in this way. Again though, I don't think Hammond is going to have a strong enough impact on the meta overall in order for heroes like these to suddenly come into the limelight again. However, overall, I just have to say that I've been having a ton of fun playing Overwatch thanks to the addition of this new hero. I certainly wasn't losing interest in Overwatch or anything extreme like that before his release, but honestly, if I'm talking from a personal standpoint, I think he's just the most enjoyable new hero overall since the game launched. Of course, this enthusiasm could be easily crushed once he goes to live servers, and everybody figures out how to hard counter him in every situation, but at least for the time being, I'm having more fun with this game than I have in a very long time. I talked in a previous video of mine about how Hammond could possibly be the best new hero we've ever gotten, and while I still won't say that he for sure is the best new hero, I still, even after a week and a half of playing him almost non-stop, think that he is the most fun. And because of that, I could absolutely see an argument to say that he is, in fact, the best new hero we've gotten. Anyways, these have just been my brief and somewhat rambly thoughts about Hammond as a hero, and how I think he's actually a lot more important to the game than people may at first realize. So now I want you guys to comment down below saying whether or not you think we should be getting more fun-centric heroes or more balance-centric heroes. Do you agree that Hammond is a ridiculously fun hero to play? Feel free to vote in today's poll card, and be sure to leave a like if you enjoyed this video, and share with a friend if you really liked it. Subscribe, follow me on Twitter, and turn on notifications to both help out my channel and keep up with all my future Overwatch content. This is Master Ian Gamer signing off, and until next time, have a great day.